Welcome to the Georgia Campaign Finance Commission's e-filing system. In today's video, you will learn how to file a campaign contribution disclosure report in the new e-filing system. In order to file a campaign contribution disclosure report, you must have a valid email address on file. If you watched the previous video in this series, How to Set Up an Account, you should already have an email address assigned to your accounts. If you do not have an email address attached to your account, please stop this video, go back, and watch that video before continuing. It is important to note that only the candidate, chairperson, and/or treasurer can file campaign contribution disclosure reports, and there must be a valid email address attached to the account. A candidate does not have to have a campaign committee to file campaign contribution disclosure reports. If you choose to have a campaign committee, they must have a chairperson and a treasurer, and those details will appear under the Officers tab under the Candidate and Committee Details section located here. You will now learn how to add a contribution to file campaign contribution disclosure reports. To add transactions, click on New Transactions and choose between contributions, expenditures, loans received, or investments. Click on Contributions. A new screen pops up that allows you to add a new contribution. Everything that is underlined in red is mandatory. You must choose the election type. As you can see, there are plenty options to choose from: primary, primary runoff, general, general runoff, recall, special primary runoff, special general, or special general runoff. Once you choose the election type, the election date automatically populates. You must choose a contribution type. Monetary itemized means all contributions received $100 or more that are required to be itemized. Monetary non-itemized means all contributions received that are $100 or less that are not required to be itemized. In-kind contributions are all in-kind contributions received. This system allows you to report anonymous contributions. But remember, those contributions should also be reported to the state treasury per OCGA 21-5-30E. Interest earned contributions are contributions from interest earned from investments or loans. You must choose from one of the 5 different types of contributor codes, ranging from the candidates giving directly to their campaign to a lobbying organization giving directly to a candidate. When receiving a contribution from an individual, committee, other, or lobbying organization, you must enter the information for that contribution type by clicking on Add New Contributor. Once you add a new contributor, they are in the system and you will not have to enter that information again. When adding an individual, you can add their employer, and the system, when you click on the drop-down option for occupation, gives you a list of ready-made occupations in the system, and you can choose from any one of these occupations. Please note, employer and occupation are required for any individual contributor who makes a contribution of more than $100 in an election cycle. Once you have all the required information for your new contributor, click Create. You're going to enter in the amount received and the date that you received it. The date received is the date of receipt of the actual contribution. There are question mark help text throughout the application. If you ever need assistance, hover over the question mark and the system will provide you with help text to assist you in the new filing system. There is a check mark section, a check number section, even though that is not required, and there is a description section, but you are not required to provide a description when receiving contributions. Click Save. You will see a toast message at the bottom of the screen that states that your contribution has been successfully added, and it tells you which report this contribution has been added to. Hit the X. You will now learn how to add an expenditure to file campaign contribution disclosure report. Go back up to New Transaction and click on Expenditures. A new screen pops up that allows you to add a new expenditure. Everything that is underlined in red is mandatory. You must choose an election type. As you can see, there are many options to choose from. Once you choose the election type, the election date automatically populates. You must choose an expenditure type. Monetary itemized means all expenditures expended that are $100 or more and are required to be itemized. Monetary non-itemized means all expenditures expended that are $100 or less that are not required to be itemized. In-kind expenditures are all in-kind expenditures expended. Reimbursement, credit card, means entering expenditures the filer used a credit card for. You must choose from one of the 4 different payee types, which are committee, self, individual, and other. If you choose committee, individual, or other, you must include the payee information by clicking on Add New Payee if they are not already in the system. Once you add a new payee, they are in the system and you will not have to enter their information again. You must enter a purpose for the expenditure. The system offers a pre-populated list of different expenditure purposes for your convenience. You must enter an amount paid and a date. The date paid is the date the liability occurred. Just like the contribution side, there are question mark help texts throughout the application. If you ever need assistance, hover over the question mark and the system will provide you with help text to assist you in the new filing system. If you receive a check, the system will prompt you to enter in the check number. However, this is not mandatory. There is also a description section, but you are not required to provide a description when recording expenditures. Once you are done entering in the information, hit Save. You will receive a toast message at the bottom that says your expenditure has been successfully added, and it tells you which report this was added to. Hit the X in the top right-hand corner. You will now learn where to view unfiled and filed reports in the new e-filing system. On the left-hand side of the screen, click on Reports. You will see two options on the top left side of your screen that says Unfiled and Filed Reports. Depending on your election cycle, for this example, this candidate is running in the 2022 statewide election cycle. All of his reports are listed here. The report he is prepping to file is the January 31st non-election year report, which will be due on January 31st. On the right-hand side of the screen, you will see reporting activity. Transactions in green are added to your total. Transactions in red are subtracted from your total. Transactions in black have no effect on your total. This lets the filer see a running total of all cash transactions. If you do not want to see this reporting activity, click on this icon here. In the middle of your screen is a list of all of your unfiled reports. When the filer is ready to file a report, scroll over to the right-hand side and click on these three dots. You have three options. You can view your totals, preview, and file. We are going to click on File. But before we click on File, notice that the report you want to file, the system tells you your campaign report name, the start of the reporting period, the end of the reporting period, the due date of the report, your campaign report status, how many unfiled transactions are on that report, and the campaign report type. In order to file the report, you will need to enter a beginning balance if you are a candidate and/or elected official who previously filed reports in our legacy system. Your beginning balance will be the figure from line 15 of your last filed reports in the legacy system. If you are a brand new filer, you will not have a beginning balance. If you have an in-kind contribution balance, please enter it here. If you have an existing investment, you will enter it here by clicking on Add Investment. That means entering in the actual investment with its current value. If you have an existing loan, please enter it here by clicking on Add Loan Received. That means entering in the actual loan received with the outstanding amount. This will provide the filer with the structure to pay off the loan or receive credits for payments against the loan. Once you have entered all the required information, you have the option of previewing the report before you hit File. Scroll up to the top of the page and hit Preview. A new tab will open and your preview of your report will generate. It will be marked as draft, but you will be able to scroll through the report and see your report before you file. When you are ready to file, you will click on File. You will have to electronically sign. The person who is filing this report will have to provide their title, which will be candidate, chairperson, or treasurer, and then you will hit Agree. You will notice that once you file this report, that it will now be under your filed reports. You have now successfully submitted a campaign contribution disclosure report in the new e-filing system. For more educational videos, please visit our website at www.ethics.ga.gov.